Their joy is undeniable. Children getting their feet washed by volunteers before receiving a new pair of shoes, a gesture designed to promote humility, the extra touch needed to make a connection.
So this is the Shoeseum.
For Manny Ahomey, service is the solution to a problem he's passionate about.
This is actually our immersive space that tells the story of the different diseases that we tend to serve. I mean, people don't realize that over 1 billion people in the world are infected with diseases.
Growing up poor in Nigeria, Manny never imagined he'd one day become the CEO of an international nonprofit. Co-founded in 2003 with his wife Tracy, Samaritans Feet distributes shoes to those in need locally and abroad. It all started in the couple's garage.
In the early days, our warehouse used to be our garage at our home. I still remember the first ever shoe draft we did was done with an elementary school called Hornets Nest Elementary School in Charlotte, raising over 800 pairs of shoes.
Living on just $1 and one meal a day, Manny never owned a pair of shoes until he was 9. He won them in a basketball competition put on by local missionaries.
So every kid wanted to get picked. We were screaming, "Pick me, pick me, pick me." Well, I was one of the few that got picked that day. Never played basketball in my life. I truly believe the Angels was working overtime, but the shot I took went in. I ended up winning the competition, becoming the first person, not just in my family, but my entire community, to own a pair of tennis shoes. Changed my life.
The shoes transformed Manny's future. At age 17, he left Africa for North Dakota on a basketball scholarship. There, he met his wife. The two would eventually join forces for a global mission to distribute shoes worldwide. Their new headquarters quadruple the size of the previous one. What are some of the biggest challenges that you faced with the distribution?
Well, logistics. I think we have to be able to secure capacity to be able to ship the shoes overseas, and it takes money. So we have to have the funds to be able to pay for the shipping, pay for the containers, pay for our staff, and then get volunteers. If we can get, before we used to get about 15,000 volunteers every year. Our hope is we can quadruple that in the next year.
The new 80,000 square foot space not only houses shoes, but will also serve as an exhibit to create an immersive experience for visitors. Manny, this exhibit is based off of an actual person's real life.
Absolutely. This is a story of a lady called Prosi in Uganda that has 5 amazing children, just like you and I have dreams for those kids. But her reality is different from our reality. She lives on less than $2 a day.
The exhibit is a replica of Prosi's life abroad. Her family's life has since been completely transformed through the generosity of donors and shoes.
We talk about it at Samaritans Feet. It offers the opportunity for a child to be a child, to run about, to play, and to get excited. Oftentimes there's bottles, there's rocks, there's thorns, there's all these elements that the child faces and or the adults face in their work. And if they become injured, then infection can quickly set in.
To combat diseases, Samaritans Feet designed a special prophylactic shoe. As the organization's digital marketing manager, Brian Bowen, travels abroad, often capturing stories of both trials and hope. In Uganda, he met Amuza, a fisherman and married father of 4.
The father had a pair of old tires that had been holes poked in and laced up, and that's what he wore on the bottom of his feet for somewhat of protection. But he talked about how he had never owned an actual pair of shoes, and he was in his late 40s.
Back here in the U.S., Samaritans Feet serves over 100,000 people a year, partnering with schools to provide inventory, making shoes more accessible for school leaders to discreetly serve students in need. So this is where you house all of the shoes that are purchased?
Yes, so warehouse, these ones are donated. Like these are a lot of our international shoes, the EVA type of shoes, slides, Crocs, different types of style. So our volunteers come in and process this.
The shoes are sorted by size. About 15,000 shoes are packed into each box to be distributed by partners locally and overseas.
Kids are picked upon, they're bullied for what they have, so you begin to level the playing field and provide an opportunity for them to have a better education and a better experience in the classroom.
Manny says he never forgot that serendipitous moment that changed the trajectory of his life. Advice from the missionary, a good Samaritan who gave him his first pair of shoes.
And right before I took off, he grabbed me by my shoulder, and he looked at me and said, "Son, just because all you see around you is poverty, doesn't mean the God of the universe has forgotten about you. It says, son, keep dreaming and keep dreaming big.
And dream he did.
But I didn't realize that my pain and my misery that was the lack of footwear would become my life mission.
Now, with the new headquarters, Manny has made it the organization's mission to serve 10 million people by 2022, a dream that once seemed impossible, now well on its way to becoming a reality. For Carolina Impact, I'm Sarah Colon-Harris reporting.
We hope you enjoyed the story. If you don't want to miss any more great stories about the Charlotte region, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.